welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. We got this guy.
So how about
He's a dude.
Yeah, let's talk to him first.
There's something I wanted to ask you.
See another crime? Cold grave for men who lost their dreams. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment.
Mm-hmm. He's asleep. We can rob him of his evidence.
Well, we should show this hopeless... Should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Oh, I guess he's just refusing to talk to us until we,
Present him the badger.
Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right into the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. Maybe investigate? Gumshoe? That old cow dog?
I'll have you know he's amazing.
Holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say, it says a letter of introduction. It says invitation. Ah. They just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's Detective Gumshoe better than a blood take.
I like that.
There's no way anyone could fake his stupidity.
Oh, poor guy.
Guess I better let you in then.
Thank you, Officer Marshall. We're gonna steal more evidence. We're gonna borrow it from now until the end of time.
Oh right, he's a patrolman, not even a full detective. Which reminds me.
Wait a second. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher?
Well, folk, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. I'll be the settler. Strike out for lands unknown.
It's almost like they're trying to put people who not only have no clue what they're doing, but are grossly incompetent and negligent, so that they don't find evidence to the contrary.
Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny.
Oh, that's not gonna age well.
Nope.
Note to self. Police investigations are like saddling land. So you should kick out who's there and take all their stuff.
Isn't that what we're technically doing?
Yes. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
I say I won't be needing this anymore. Letter of invitation crumpled and discarded.
We might need that for somebody else. Although there's nobody else heading up the case but him.
See your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star. A lone star shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night.
Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. They're the opposite of vampires.
Hey, wait, that's a sheriff's badge.
You're not even a sheriff.
What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole? If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. That's like an entire ocean away.
Yep. Texas? Where's that? I'm from America. I don't know where Texas is.
I'm not from America. I'm from America. This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards does make, compadre?
It means that he was probably attacked closer to the door.
I would really like it if every single time that he said a Spanish word, he said it like it's a French word. So it's like compadre.
Oh, please do. Have him butcher everything. Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. Emma, don't take any of these to heart. This man has no idea what he's talking about. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. There's no pros here.
Just
Miles
cons.
Edgeworth is nowhere to be seen.
There's no pros, just cons.
I mean, have you seen the rest of this case?
Alright, compadre, count the 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you want, if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me to never visit Texas. Ah, toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly would you, could you shield with that? A toy knot, maybe?
Well, I took this from Edward's desk, I'll have you know. And he just watched me do it, watched me walk out the room with it, and
Didn't
didn't
want
say
it
a
anyway,
thing.
so...
I know, he probably, oh, thank goodness it's gone. He also probably doesn't want it cause it's got Von Karma's name written 15 times at the bottom of it, and he's still sore about the whole thing. And Officer Marshall, you don't have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these.
Let me guess, did I have a K for King of the Detectives on it?
Hey, could we use the shield, same shield over and over again?
Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. That's probably the only correct thing she's written down the entire time.
You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you.
Was it broken at one part of the past and it just stayed broken?
5:12 p.m. Prosecutor's bright red steed came in like a trot, real slow like.
Because he didn't want to run into anything. A trot?
My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later.
Dude, if you're talking to saints, if you think you're talking to saints just that's fine. But if you actually believe it, you should stop drinking and actually pay attention.
I think he's talking about the singer.
I don't think he's talking about the singer. I think he's just hallucinating. I think he's just hallucinating saints.
So it seems the chief prosecutor was lying in wait. Maybe
Well, why didn't
waiting for her
Edward
prince
see
to
her?
riding on his bright red horse.
She's not Miles's type.
So what you mean is the killer intended to use Edward's car all along.
She's not Edward's type, and he's not her type.
So, Officer Marshall, could you tell us a little bit more about the victim? Good men always die young, remember that, partner. Could you be a little bit more specific?
So that's why Von Karma looks so old.
Because he has to deal with these type of people.
Bruce Goodman, he was a detective, right?
Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now?
What's feisty about that? I was just asking you a question.
Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. Smiling Madonna told me her tale.
Ah, the woman.
I think he means the witness. One stabbed to the chest, a fine piece of work. Here's the autopsy report.
Finally, we're given something of use. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Besides being a colleague?
Funny you should mention that, Bombina.
I love his inability to pronounce anything right. You should keep doing it.
Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman have nothing in common at all.
So she doesn't have motive to kill him. There's nothing in common.
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive.
So why would she kill him?
Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective
So
either.
there's even less reason to kill him. Because you couldn't even say that she was trying to kill him to make the station look bad, not better, because in that case she would have gone after Gumshoes instead.
So, again, this has popped up a few in a few cases, but it's gonna pop up a lot later. Figuring out the motive is going to be one of the hardest parts of some cases because you'll have a group of suspects but no motive for any of them, and you have to figure out which one of them has the strongest motive and then go down that route. Mm-hmm. So for right now, we do not know, presumably we do not know the real suspect, and we do not know any sort of motive that would tie this person. other than someone lightly messaged to us that Goodman was a crooked detective. Like, that is all we know.
So that would be more reason for perhaps Edgeworth to go after him, except he's never gone after people like this before.
Wait, was he a detective or was he a prosecutor?
Goodman was a detective.
Right, because it's
Lana
detective ID.
Sky is the prosecutor.
Investigator. So he is a
Prosecuting.
found at the prosecutor's office. He is an investigator with the police. So technically he would be a detective.
Because it even says detective on there. No.
I think it says sergeant, actually. It's like, see, S and it ends with a...
But they keep referring to him as a detective. Even other detectives are referring to him as a detective.
Yeah. That's one reason why he didn't work much with the chief
prosecutor. Because
that's a prospector for a second.
So she had standards, and that's why she's being convicted. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot.
So
I think that's why we need to figure out why. That's the first step. We need to figure out why she called him out of the blue, because they'd only worked together once on a case and didn't really work together at all. They didn't really meet in the same circles either.
Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon.
I don't think he was unarmed.
I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? Call me out. They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh?
Well,
I was one of them fancy shoe detectives until 2 years ago, to tell you the truth.
Why?
Oh, really? So now he tells me.
So you were demoted. But you're
I wonder why. He's drinking on the job.
But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina?
I just want answers. I don't want fake Spanish from
so
a fake
why are you in
Spaniard.
charge? No reason. We're just throwing hands right now, and I'm keeping my eye out in the meantime.
If they're short on hands because they kicked everyone out.
That's odd.
That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail.
Yeah, but he's a detective.
Yeah, but he, so he's higher than you in rank, and so he would probably be put onto this.
And they even gave him
what it
power
sounds
over
like.
Edgeworth's trial.
What it sounds like is that they removed all of the detectives that were currently in the office, and we moved them from the investigation
Physically.
because they think that it is another detective who may have killed him. So they put this guy who formerly was the detective,
as they investigate everybody
so he
else.
knows the protocol, but he is now a patrolman and hasn't been for 2 years.
I bet you he's got something to do with the case, though. Because I think it was the woman. I think it was Angel. As of right now, I think Angel was the one who stabbed him. She caught him off guard. Do we know where the victim was stabbed?
I would like to point out that we don't always know the true suspect right off the bat. I will point out that we did not meet Red White until the end of the second day. And we didn't really know his name until halfway through that day in investigation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all we really know is that yeah, whatever.
What I want to see again is the opening shot of this show with the two buildings. Because one was probably the one was probably the prosecuting office, and the other one was the detective.
Yeah,
That's
one
where
was
the
the prosecutor's
detectives are.
office.
Criminal affairs is what it's called.
Yeah, one was criminal affairs, one was the chief prosecutor's office.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because he runs around with that Edgeworth, eh?
Well, that just makes him more qualified. Because Edgeworth obviously sees some merit in him.
That cow dog's been kicked out of his cattle run by order of the police,
Along
chief
with
of police.
every other detective.
But he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation.
Which means he was on the investigation for probably all of 5 seconds.
Okay. Name of the deceased, Bruce Goodman. We already knew that. Time of death was on the 21st, sometime between 4 p.m. and 5:30. Meaning that there was a chance that he was killed, put into the trunk of Edgeworth's car, and then Edgeworth's car showed up here.
So someone had
Instead
to have
of-
had...
Bruce Goodman was here, stabbed, and then shoved into his car.
But what's his wallet doing here then? Because that's another important part. His wallet was found at the crime scene, right? Unless it was planted evidence.
Loss
or
of
drug.
blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by 4.5-inch knife with a single stab. Okay, if they're talking about singular stabs, then we're probably gonna have to talk about. Then there might be a chance that that we're gonna have to come back to that.
We need
Oh wait,
motive.
let's present it to him. Whoops.
Well, seeing it again is a...
I guess all that we can do now is just investigate. Okay, so first things first, what on this side of the room haven't we investigated yet? Nope, looks like that's it. Oh, this is one of those rotating ones where it's like sitting inside of like a big Ferris wheel type thing, and big Ferris wheel contraption, and then it selects your car and then pulls it
I've
out.
never seen one like that. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors.
Defense attorneys are relegated to B block.
I dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block and buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright.
I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Looks like a cell phone. Little strap on it.
Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. How do you know that? Just by looking at it. So we've got another... If this is true, and if this belongs to the victim, we have a second dropped evidence.
But it looks
Why
like that it could have
drop?
like been in his hands, and when he flopped out, he dropped it, you know?
Rigor mortis sets in pretty well, but why would he drop it once he flopped out of the trunk? Why would he even flop out of the trunk in the first place?
Or maybe it was like in his coat, and then like when it like flopped out, like
Okay,
fell.
that makes sense. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to.
What's so scientific about that?
Who else has terrible taste here? Besides the fake cowboy yonder.
Okay, let's check it out. Oh, I'm not actually controlling it. Whoops.
Oh, his phone's still on the redial screen.
Redial.
Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it, probably because you don't have a phone.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't even know about things like redial.
Huh? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just you never know with people from your generation, you boomer.
Whatever, let's just check this phone out. Just to remind you,
Phoenix Wright is technically an 80s kid.
no, he would actually be in Gen Z.
Oh.
Because this is 2007, and he's in his early 20s. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Actually, no, he would.
He'd be late 80s.
Yeah,
early
he would just-
90s.
No,
Somewhere-
he would be younger than either of us.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
Cause I'm almost 30. That's the thing.
yeah.
He's such a baby. Let's see the last number called.
I can't eject the power perk. Okay, now let's see who the owner of this phone called last.
Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Hey, that song, I know that.
Yeah, I know that song. What's going on over there?
We're looking at evidence.
Ah, sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed a redial on that phone there, didn't you? Well, yeah.
Whose phone is this? And anyways, it was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? Belongs to the chief You don't say prospector instead of prosecutor.
So you weren't wrong. Your brain was just trying to auto-correct the stupid out.
That's my sister. Yeah.
Why hasn't this been collected and tested for evidence then? Along with the knife.
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except, she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. So, who'd she call? No idea. Sorry, partner.
You know, you're just hiding it.
I've got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones.
Yeah, this thing.
Was that?
Thing we were...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was my phone. Wait.
She was trying to call Mia.
Well, your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as I picked up the other phone. Or wrong number?
Because it was Mia.
I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner.
Not anymore.
I've inside the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Okay, how did the court...
There's
Can I
something.
investigate this again? I'm gonna redial again. No need to push this again.
What's wrong? You look like I do during finals.
Never mind, it's nothing. So he knows. He already knows that the phone was calling him. But again, that is super weird.
That is probably one of the more weirder things in this case.
So this appears to be the car where the body was found, and it looks like the lock on the trunk is busted.
The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. I completely forgot how I did her voice before. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car.
Close enough.
Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn.
Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks, I guess.
This is Japan. This rope, is it?
Yeah, they laid the outline of the victim's body, which they never actually do, but they're doing it for us just so we can know how the body was positioned.
But that's tampering with the evidence of the scene of the crime. My heart breaks for the evidence lost. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him.
She thinks that he was laying in the back of it, and then she just started slamming the car door into him.
There would be proof of concussive force if there was.
This isn't Kill Bill. Come on.
Ugh.
Oh wait, you probably don't even know that scene because you don't watch
do.
Tarantino films.
I own
Oh wait,
Reservoir
yeah,
Dogs.
Oh wait, yeah.
We own Pulp Fiction downstairs. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, half of the movie is good.
This is true.
I was like, and they're like, which half are you talking about? Like, you know which
Yes.
half of the movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's every scene with Samuel L. Jackson in it. Royale.
Okay, you have to. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion.
You can just see Edgeworth
Okay,
screaming.
now inside the trunk. What's this? It looks like some sort of note.
Look, something's written on a piece of paper. Le gasp! Someone can write. Well, I guess it's not Gumshoe who come here.
So we're gonna guess that that is a 5. So 6-5S.
I would have thought that
No,
was a 5.
December 2nd. There's also a name written above that. It's Goodman, so it's probably a note of his. Maybe it fell off his pocket when he was killed.
What is it with all this dropped evidence, along with the fact it was Phoenix's phone, is the most suspicious part of this whole thing. Yeah. Is the phone Mia's? And then when Phoenix answered it, she immediately clicked off because it wasn't Mia.
Maybe?
Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Note to self, deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get a lot of deductive reasoning from when you show up in Miles Edgeworth investigations.
Ace detective.
I'm sure
Let's
Edgeworth
not
wouldn't know what this means
investigate
either.
the fireplace until we've lit it back on fire and shoved Gumshoe into the fireplace.
B block is through here where all the visitors park.
I can see lunch. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance.
Yeah, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. You can see it's a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak.
Cannibalism. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy?
Just don't think too deeply about it, and you'll be fine.
Because unlike pigs, cows would never.
So, we have 1, which is the body, 3, which is the phone, and then 2 probably inside of there, which was the note. Okay, Okay, Marshall does have one more thing to talk about, but
Oh, they probably all
present the
have
2 pieces of
something to
evidence
talk about.
first.
My sister's cell phone.
Last time it was used was 5/18, right before Goodman, right after he was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night.
Well, with Phoenix?
Why did Lana make that call?
That is a question we immediately have to answer. Probably not for any important bearing on the case, but just because I'm so darn curious. So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister.
That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her.
There is that.
And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. Afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many coincidences.
Officer Marshall.
Yeah, Bambina?
How can you say that? You and my sister, you were
Something between this cop and her
You were
sister?
the rebound.
I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. And maybe it's the dry wind blowing through the prospector's office.
Maybe it's the whiskey.
Dry wind or ill will, something's gotta be up. Who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence or raging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because of what he did whenever it took the wind. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you.
It's almost like you're the main character or something. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? Until they're corroborated with evidence, which...
They're saying he's throwing cases because he likes you or something.
Well, it's hard to doubt that. These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. Were you not around at the last few cases we were in?
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you found one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say.
Is it on Karma?
One person? Who's that?
Ed Von Karma.
I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Mamina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky.
I think it was actually Karma. What, my sister?
Edward couldn't wrestle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. So you're saying Edward shot people with deals?
The finest deals in town. Cards that break down.
Box of bullets for £5. Wait, that's England. What'd I say? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what old timers say, I guess.
I don't think they ever said that.
There's a big old secret hidden somewhere around here. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gunshoe was taken off the
Because
case
he's
then?
too close to Miles, but if that was the case, why didn't they take him off the Von Karma case?
Yeah, that...
It would have been so much more difficult if they had removed Gumshoe from the case who kept giving us
I want to
evidence.
give him this metal detector, but I can't seem to give it to him.
And it's like, oh, and then he just throws it at us because it's like, oh, I'm not
And take this dog too.
I'm not involved in the case. Yeets a metal detector into Maya's face.
Did they target him because he was the closest to Edward then?
Probably after the last case, that would make sense. So, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? We've got a lot of information, but we've got it. It's like refined. It's like unrefined ore, is what we've got. We have to refine it.
So
down
what you're saying is that we were
actual evidence.
panhandling and we pulled up something other than gold.
We pulled up platinum.
Yeah, but we don't know it's platinum or silver because it's all like mangled together.
Because we're the Portuguese in the 1500s and we don't know any better.
Ow! I know what you're talking about, and that is a deep cut. Because we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, a cell phone.
We've got platinum. We just think it's dirty silver is all. So you think we'll be okay? Not at all.
Well,
We've got unrefined
the only thing still
platinum.
bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it.
We have to figure out why she's... No problem. We just have to figure out who she's actually covering for. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. A lousy sister, perhaps, but not the criminal.
Oh, by the way, Emma. I know that song your phone plays when it rings.
What?
Oh, it was ringing her phone. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? Popular TV show for kids.
Oh, was he covering for Emma by saying it was...
Which
his
is funny
phone?
because in the next game, his phone actually does use the Steel Samurai thing, which is funny.
$5 says Mia or Miles changed it because they couldn't stand the other one. So they just changed it to that.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's the wrong
Oh,
one.
that was very quick on his part.
Yeah. Cell phone rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours.
Why are we saying this in front of the patrolman?
At 5... Yeah, he's like, I'm not paying
Huh?
attention. I'm having a siesta.
No, a siesta.
Yeah, siesta. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what you talked about?
She hung up right away.
I see.
That was very quick on the draw.
Suspect is murdered, and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here.
You know, there are times when Phoenix Wright is as dull as a pack of broken nails. And then there's just times where he just pulls genius out of nowhere. Because, like, he is like, that's not my phone.
Yeah.
Whose phone is that? And the guy walks over and he instantly goes, oh no.
So you'll notice that it says trial former. There is going to be a break in the middle of this trial, and it's going to last forever. This trial is literally like one of the longest trials I've ever had to sit through, and it's still amazing.
I love this
It's annoying
case.
for different reasons, but I
know,
love it.
But I already love this case because it actually shows Phoenix Wright with a brain cell
Also,
to his name and not the brain cell he borrowed from Mia.
it's one of the few cases that doesn't use the word turnabout in the name of the case.
Why is that?
Rise from the turnabout ashes.
Turnabout from ashes.
Oh yeah, turnabout from ashes.
I like
Would
it
have
because
been-
it's a Phoenix pun though, so it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So we've gone a bit over, but we will see you next time when we go into the trial.
See you next time.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.